I'll take that back. I'm sorry about that. I don't want to hurt
Can you set this up on the stand? And just make sure that it's like pointing at him, okay? I think it needs to come up more.
Stuck around 30 minutes is right.
Careful.
I am. Got it?
Good evening and welcome. I'm Jason Jones, Chairman of the Greater Penn City Chamber of Commerce. And on behalf of the Chamber, its trustees, Board of Directors, and member businesses, we would like to welcome you to the inaugural Penn City Candidate Forum. Our goal tonight is to provide you with an opportunity to hear directly from the candidates who are running the upcoming election cycle. You are encouraged to take notes and visit the candidate tables in the back of the room and ask questions. We are ecstatic that we are welcoming over 60 candidates to the stage this evening. We're also aware that many of you may have come directly from work and have not yet had a chance to have dinner. So if you're like me, you're going to want to eat. We have plenty of food trucks right outside the building. And we also have the local Youth and Government Club selling refreshments in the lobby. So again, food trucks outside the building and the Youth and Government Club selling refreshments in the lobby. Please feel free to move in and out of the room to get a drink or a snack at your leisure. But please also be respectful of the candidates who are on stage speaking and others who are listening. Restrooms are located in the rear of the auditorium. And I would now like to welcome the Penn City High School Color Guard to the stage for the presentation of colors. They will be followed by the Durant High School Choir, who will sing our national anthem. Please stand.
More time. More. Colors. Hold. Center. Face. Present. Colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Right. Face. Forward. Work.
Thank you. You may now be seated. Now I would like to welcome the President of the Greater Penn City Chamber of Commerce, Kristen Miller, to the stage to introduce tonight's partners.
Thanks, Jason. So you all are just going to have to bear with me a minute. I am giddy. My lucky stepper up here. I'm super excited that all of you are here and that I have the opportunity to thank our partners. I have the honor of thanking community at large, as well as our members, to get educated and get involved in local government. It is with my most sincere appreciation that I get to introduce the organizations that sponsor tonight's event and make the forum a possibility. If you are in the room, will you please stand and remain standing while I introduce you. Our official media partner, the Plant City Observer. Red level sponsor, Tico. White level sponsor, A Chair Affair Incorporated, Hillsborough Community College, Minuteman Press from Plant City, Mosaic, Norma's Cuban Sandwich Shop, South Florida Baptist Hospital, and Solution Source. Our blue level sponsors, A Piece of Plant City, Be Creative, Carr & Associates Consultants, Farm Credit of Central Florida, Gans Associates, Hillsborough County Farm Bureau, Oakwell Funeral Home, Plant City Photo Archives, and Rayo Boutique. Take a look around this room. Thank you everyone for your sponsorship tonight. You may be seated. I would also like to recognize the Chamber's trustees present tonight. If you are a Chamber trustee, would you please stand? Thank you for your continued support that you provide to our Chamber. Our trustees are a strong part of this organization. Next, if you serve on the Chamber's Board of Directors, will you please stand? These individuals give a lot of their time and resources to help our organization grow. Finally, I would like to thank our Government Advisory Committee for all of their hard work that they have done in planning and organizing this event. Most especially to Deanna Early, tonight's event chair. Deanna has spent many weekends and late nights finalizing the details for tonight's event. Deanna, thank you for all of your hard work. If you're a Government Advisory Committee member, please stand. They're probably around. I'd like to ask Marty to come up to the stage. He is the chair of our Government Advisory Committee. Dr. Martin Clay is president of the Hillsborough Community College Plant City campus, and he will explain the rules and timeline for tonight's event, and as well introduce our MCs. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Tonight we'll be calling candidates up to the stage in groups by office. We'll start with our statewide candidates and continue through federal, state, sheriff, county commission, judges, school board, and finally soil and water conservation districts. Each eligible candidate will be announced from the stage alphabetically, provided 2 minutes to speak. In the interest of time, we'll have to monitor this strictly, and candidates will not be allowed to go over the 2-minute mark. We ask that you hold your applause until all candidates in a race have spoken. Tonight we'll have 2 MCs who will be rotating and introducing races and the candidates. Our first MC is Hannah Benton. Hannah Benton, formerly known as Hannah Hodge, and the 2006 Florida Strawberry Festival Queen, was born and raised in Plant City. Hannah earned her associate's degree from Hillsborough Community College, followed by a bachelor's degree in political science from the University of South Florida. Hannah served as a legislative assistant in the Florida Senate for 5 years before working with USF's Women in Leadership and Philanthropy and the USF Foundation Board of Directors. Hannah ultimately followed her passion for exhibiting kindness and opened Rayo Boutique alongside her mom, Bridget, in 2014. Rayo stands for Random Acts of Kindness. Hannah and EJ are currently expecting their first child by way of adoption. Our second MC for the night is Marcia Passenger. Marcia Passenger has always lived in Plant City and is very proud of her hometown. She's been very involved in her community for many years, and will quickly tell you that it has been time well spent. Marcia is the Community Service Coordinator for Oakwell Funeral Home, and is proud to represent a firm that she believes in. She's a retired General Motors accountant after 22 years of service, and has a degree in Marketing and Human Resource Management from St. Leo College, now University, and General Motors Accounting School. A couple of Marcia's crowning moments include serving Plant City for 6 years as City Commissioner, and in 2011 she was selected by her peers from the many civic and service organizations as Plant City's Citizen of the Year. She's also served as the chairman of the board for Unity in the Community for 3 years, is the co-chairman of the Strawberry Festival Queen exhibit, and is a member of the South Florida Baptist Hospital's Diamonds and Denim Planning Committee. Billy Passmore for 40 years. They look forward to the next 40. Her sister, Jody White, is her best friend. Representatives from the Supervisor of Elections Office are here tonight to assist you with your specific district questions regarding which candidates represent you. The Supervisor's Office can assist you with changes for the primary and general elections. They're located at the back of this room and will be here for approximately 30 more minutes. When you registered tonight, you were given a straw poll ballot. Your ballot is unique to you. While you are listening to the candidates, please complete this ballot with your vote in each race and drop it into the ballot box located near the room divider, directly in front of me. This ballot does not represent your official voting day ballot, but includes all the races for the Plant City community. Results will be tabulated tonight and released tomorrow. If you're on social media tonight, please look at #PC4. Now, one final note. This is the first candidate form posted by the Chamber in our community in a long time. I'm so proud of the Government Advisory Committee's work on this event, and I ask for your patience and to extend grace to our team during the event in case we have any technical difficulties. Now I'd like to welcome Hannah Benton to the stage to kick off tonight's event.
Thank you very much. My name is Bruce Nathan. I am a 22-year medical practitioner. I have been fortunate enough to be doing that through patients, through my counties down in Southeast Florida. More importantly, in response to 9/11, I joined the military. I am the only 9-year military veteran, honorably discharged captain that's running for the governor for the state of Florida. As a governor of the state of Florida, you have to be able to take command because we have been at war against the politicians for too long and we've lost. Everything you see is a problem. I am anti-establishment, anti-corruption, anti-waste, pro-life, pro-Trump. I'm a faithful husband and father of 6 children. And that's the main reason I stand right here right now is because my children and your children are not going to be able to have a Florida to look up to our legacy if we continue what we're doing. We have mass graves down in Tampa, Bradenton, all the way around. You guys see it all with the red tide, the blue-green algae. Nobody has fixed this in the 18 years I've lived out on the St. Lucie River and on the East Coast. And nobody's fixed it for you. I can tell you with a 5-point plan, I will stop the locks running left and right, east and west. I will filtrate the water going south. I will make sure that we buy that land that we voted on in 2014. I will absolutely stop Monsanto from over-fertilization, and I will make sure that we clean up that water and the Everglades is going to be back in pristine again. My name is Bruce Nathan. I'm running for governor for you for multiple reasons. If I have one more minute, I will say that I am going to make sure that our schools are safe. With all of us and children, we've looked at that for too long. I have met with Andrew Pollack, who lost his daughter, Meadow. I have a 3-point plan there. It's single point of entry, no metal detectors, and veterans. As a veteran, I wholeheartedly agree that we should have veterans guarding our schools. 3 veterans guarding every single school in Florida, fully protected. Bruce Nathan, 2018. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nathan.
Thank you. Good evening, Plant City. Thank you, Chamber of Commerce. I am Jeremy Ring, and I'm a candidate for Chief Financial Officer. What that means is I am supposed to be the most boring person in the room tonight. That's what you want out of me. Let me tell you my background quickly, because it's a little different than most people would get up here and speak about. The company Yahoo. We've all heard of it. I was part of the team that built the company. I was living in New York. We opened the entire East Coast office out of my apartment. And I was the first salesperson. I moved to California. We built a company worth $120 billion, 1.5 billion users across the world, and we changed the entire world. We ushered in the digital information age. I moved to Florida. I was an entrepreneur. I had a number of businesses, but I spent 10 years as a state senator in Tallahassee, trying to build an innovation economy for the state of Florida. I created this largest technology incubator in the state. I created the largest venture capital fund in the state to help build great jobs and do more to build our economy than most other elected officials. I'm now running for Chief Financial Officer. Most people don't even know that position exists, let alone what it does. Thank God it was explained what it does, but basically a few things. It pays the bills of the state. That's pretty important. It is the insurance commissioner reports up to the CFO, so it does everything in its power to keep your insurance rates low. Again, it's the fire marshal. It is one of 3 trustees to the $160 billion Florida retirement system with over 600,000 beneficiaries. And I got 15 seconds left, which means I'm being pulled, because you got a whole lot more speakers tonight. But do remember me, Jeremy Ring, for Chief Financial Officer in November. Thank you.
Great, so moving right along, there are no candidates for Commissioner and Agriculture, or candidates for the United States Senate. And I'm going to pass it on over to Ms. Marcia.
Good evening. Our next federal race is for the United States House District 15. On the screen above, you can see the district boundaries for the congressional seat. The population of each state is used to determine the number of congressional members each state elects. Florida currently has 27 congressmen and women. District 15 encompasses the Brandon area, Plant City, Lakeland, and as far north as Mineola. There is no incumbent in this race. There are 5 Republican candidates and 3 Democratic candidates on the primary ballot. The winners of those primaries will be on the general ballot with 3 write-in candidates. The complete list of candidates is on the screen now and in your straw poll ballot. The first speaker tonight for the U.S. District House District 15 is Neil Cundy.
Yes, sir.
I'm
going to do you
minutes.
I'll do you right.
Okay, do you right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Neil Cundy, and I'm from Polk County. I born and raised there. I've been involved in agriculture in some form or fashion for my entire life. I served in local government on the Polk County Commission for a number of years. After that, I was out of office for 8 years, but I did serve on the Swift Governing Board as a volunteer for almost 8 years. I was in the legislature for 5 years, and I made the best of those 5 years in the legislature. I was twice named Legislator of the Year by the Florida Police Chiefs Association for the work that I did on behalf of law enforcement and public safety. I was the one and only recipient in an 8-year history from Florida Carry, which is the second largest pro-Second Amendment group in the state. I was the Legislator of the Year, and the one and only time the award's ever been given. Also been named Legislator of the Year for the Florida Cattlemen's Association, and for not appoint people who do not support him. I supported him for 6 months, starting on May 3rd, night and day, any way and every way that I possibly could. I support the president, I support his agenda, but let me say, I said this recently to Bill Schultz, and I'll say it again, the Make America Great agenda is really our agenda. It's the agenda of a lot of you in this audience. It was an agenda that got started by a bunch of grassroots folks going back to 2010, and didn't have a leader in 2016. But in 2016, we got our leader, Donald Trump. We got a president who was doing exactly what he promised us he would do. There's no surprises with it. He's doing everything he can to make America great again. I intend to help President Trump advance that agenda because it is our agenda. I also took on the American Law for American Courts, which was a tough issue that for 4 years could not get passed. I picked it up and I made sure by passing this bill that only American law would be used in American courts, and we would not allow law, foreign law, that violates the constitutional rights of Americans to be used in Florida courts. Neil Cumbie, I would appreciate your support next Tuesday. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sean Harper. I'm a conservative, outsider, and a businessman. I'm running for Florida's 15th Congressional District. I'm married to my wife, Brandy, for over 19 years. I have 2 wonderful kids, Abigail and Jessica. I'm a 4th generation Floridian. My dad grew up in Lakeland, and my mom grew up right here in Penn City. She grew up on the corner of Sam Massey and Travel Road, and my grandmother's family lived there for a very long time. I own 2 companies in the district. I'm Harper Little Construction and Web Pro Realty. And I'm very proud to say that Web Pro Realty was voted Small Business of the Year by the Lakeland Chamber in 2016. Unlike my opponents, I've been in the private sector my whole career. I have 30 years of business experience that I can take to Washington and take those business principles and use my business knowledge and experience to help turn this country around. President Trump asked for business leaders to stand up and serve, and that's why I'm running. This is not a career path for me. This is not a career move for me. I am running for term limits. I am ready to serve my country and then come back home to my small businesses. On the other hand, I know you've all received these mailers in the mail. You've all received these. I've sent out one to introduce myself to the voters. But there are 2 career politicians in this race. One has been in politics for over 2 decades, and one is an attorney that's turned politician that have bombarded my mailbox with these mailers for the last few weeks. These mailers show the money the special interests are willing to put into this race to keep career politicians for running this country. They're keeping them running this country. District 15 has an opportunity to send a business owner to Washington like myself that will bring fresh and new ideas to Washington so we can take our country back from career politicians. My name is Sean Harper. I would appreciate your vote on or before August 28th. Thank you for letting me be here tonight.
I'm going to tell you the order that the other speakers will be in. We have Danny Kushner, then we'll have Ross Pena, Kristen Carlson, and then Raymond Ray Pena.
Hi, thank you very much. I am Danny Kushner. I am a 3rd generation Floridian. We all talk about our generational groups that we're in. I'm from South Hillsborough County. Grew up farming tropical fish and tomatoes. And in 1996, NAFTA put us out of business. Like it's going to put a lot of farmers in our country out of business if we do not change it. So I decided to run for several reasons, but one of which was an agreement that's 24 years old, needs to be opened up, and needs to be renegotiated. We have farmers here in Plant City, we have farmers in Georgia, we have farmers all around America that's getting ready to suffer from this agreement. So that was one of the reasons. After we stopped farming, I got into real estate for a while. I eventually landed working with a company called Untitled Precision Ag, and some of you folks may know Steve Maxwell. Steve Maxwell and I partnered together to create Untitled Precision Ag. I did the direct compliance side of that, helping our growers with labor issues around America. when I decided to run for this race, well, actually my wife and I, she's here tonight, Callie, we've been married, and we've got 4 grown children, 3 dogs and a cat at home, and a 90-year-old veteran father that lives with us. So we've got a lot of issues that we need to help solve. We want to run on local control. We need to bring back local control to our economy here. We like school board members, and then we tie their hands. We like our county commissioners, and we tie their hands. Washington's got to stop tying their hands. I want to run on a balanced budget. I will not vote for a budget that's not balanced. And finally, term limits. I do agree, just like a lot of us up here, though, the term limits are important. When I announced my run for this race, I said I will only serve 8 years, and 8 years only. There's people in this room that can step up to the plate and fill those shoes after someone like myself is gone. So we need to elect non-politicians. I have never run for office before. This is our first time, and it will be our last. We plan to win, and we plan to see you guys in November. For you folks that can't vote for us on August 28th, we would appreciate your vote in November. Please visit us at DannyKushner.com. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Penn. It's such a pleasure to be here with you tonight. I am a 4th-generation Floridian, born and raised right here in eastern Hillsborough County. I've been married for 27 years, the love of my life. We have 4 children, 1 grandchild, and 1 on the way. I've been honored to serve in the Florida legislature for the last 6 years. By the way, that's a part-time gig. I had a full-time job the entire time I was there. I'm proud of what we've done. We've balanced the budget every year. We've cut taxes. We've cut regulation. And every year we've taken steps to protect innocent human life. And I've personally sponsored numerous bills in the fight against human trafficking and child exploitation. I am a small business owner. My dad was too, and he used to tell me I was a warehouse. This is the United States of America, and the American dream is alive and well. You can do anything you want to do if you work hard and you honor God and treat people right. And I believed him, and I've lived the American dream. I was the first in my family to get an advanced degree, and I did it working full-time with the family. I didn't graduate with my bachelor's degree until I was 29 years old. That's the American dream. My wife and I wanted a big family. We ultimately had 4 kids. It was tough, let me tell you. You either allow yourself to be pulled apart, or you hang together, you hold on tight to your faith, and you make it work. That's the American dream. We wanted a small business. We started a business 12 years ago. It was tough. The first few days, I stood there praying, God, please let the phone ring. My wife's going to kill me. It rang, but only because I got my and I got clients in there. We've been able to provide for numerous families throughout the years. I will be a strong supporter for President Trump in Congress. I'm a conservative. I believe in strong borders, a balanced budget, term limits. I'm pro-life. I have been endorsed by I have an A+ rating from the NRA. I've been endorsed by the Florida Family Policy Council, the Family Research Council, the Florida Realtors, and our fantastic Attorney General, Pena. I would sure appreciate your support, and I would love to be able to fight for the American dreams of your children and your grandchildren. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kristen Carlson, and I'd like to introduce myself. My father was a fighter pilot, my mother was an Army nurse, and we came to the Tampa Bay area in 1966 when my father was stationed at McDill. So from 1966 on, I have been living in the Tampa Bay area. I went to the University of Florida, I went to law school. My first job out of law school was a prosecutor up in Dade City, so I worked in Pasco County. From there, I went on to become the general counsel of the Florida Department of Citrus. And during that time, I was a regulator. I helped clean up orange juice adulteration, which was happening out of state. And what that experience allowed me to do was learn to work at the highest levels of government. I worked with FDA, I worked with USDA, I worked with the Department of Justice. I also worked in Tallahassee. I drafted legislation, I got bills enacted, I did regulations. From there, I was in private practice for a number of years. I was senior counsel for the Florida Department of Transportation. So all this is a way of saying I have a lot of experience that I can bring as your congresswoman. Experience counts, and I have never been a career politician. when I jumped into this race, I wanted to do what I've always done, and that's make Florida a better place. I've done this by working well with others, and the problems that our nation faces are huge problems. For example, health care. That's going to require bipartisan support. That's going to require everybody to put their heads together and come up with the best ideas. We cannot balance our budget on the backs of retirees and take away Social Security benefits and Medicare benefits that we've all paid into. So again, I want to be your congresswoman. I would love to work on these big projects together so that all Americans can benefit. Kristen Carlson, thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Andrew Learned. I'm also on this stage, which means I'm running for Congress in the 15th District. For those of you who don't know my story, I got in this fight a year and a half ago after Trump, on his third day on the job, ordered a mission into Yemen that got one of my guys killed. I'm a Navy vet. It was my third deployment to the Middle East, and it was the raid, I'm sure many of you remember, where he famously took the briefing in a Mar-a-Lago ballroom and said in a classified setting, and then basically forgot and got on Twitter and tweeted the Muslim ban the night as the team went in, angering untold numbers of our Arab partners and allies that we were counting on that night. I got in this to hold it accountable, came home, I'm an education center owner, I own a tutoring company over here in Puerto Rico, and because small businesses like ours are being left behind. There are people in Washington, like you said, the career politicians that are holding us back, and it's the good old boy networks that we just can't get past. I've been in this fight talking about three simple things since the beginning. We should feed the hungry, care for the sick, we should treat people fairly. It's not a hard statement to make, but Polk County, right south of here, second worst county in America for food insecurity. We have 3,000 counties in this country, and we are the second worst for making sure that the migrant kids that are literally picking the crops that we rely on, the inner city kids who are just struggling to make ends meet, don't have food in their pockets. That's a problem. That's a problem. The Republicans in Congress last spring tried to take away health care from every single one of us with a pre-existing condition. And I don't care if you want to admit it or not, we all have a pre-existing condition of one kind or another, and we're all in this fight, we're all going to need it. I'm the first and only one up here who's going to stand up here and unequivocally say, we absolutely need Medicare for all, because if you're in the richest country in the world, the United States of America, everybody should have access to health care, period. And I have never found a more eloquent way to say it, so I put it out the same way since the beginning. I don't care, and it shouldn't matter if you're gay, straight, male, female, black, brown. If you're an immigrant or if you're born in this country, if you're in the United States of America, you should be treated fairly. Period. AndrewLearned.com.
Separating children from their mothers as they come to seek asylum. Caging children. Separating the wives of our combat veterans, deporting them. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ray Pena. I'm a candidate for U.S. House of Representatives, Congressional District 15. I'm a Democrat. And no, I do not support Trump's policies and what he's been doing to our country. I stand for a fair, transparent, and honest government. I'm the first Hispanic American to run for this congressional seat. I'm a military veteran. I served with the United States Coast Guard between 74 and 78, during the Vietnam era. I then went into law enforcement, where I first served as a police officer with the Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, D.C. Then I went on to San Jose, California, where I retired after 26 years as a detective. I opened up my own small business, Guardian Aviation LLC. I'm a commercial pilot flight instructor in rotary wing construction. Ladies and gentlemen, I ran this campaign for the last 21 months. I was the first Democrat to file for this seat. And I've been arduously working since then, every day, listening to you, talking to you, shaking your hands, getting your signatures, and on some occasions, your donations. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take our government back. This is the time. We need you to vote like your life depends on it. Our democratic processes in this country is being destroyed. I will not support a president that does that to the American people. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Pena, candidate for U.S. House of Representatives, Congressional District 15. Thank you and God bless.
Well, thank you and good evening. I really do appreciate the opportunity to be here, but I certainly appreciate much more the fact that you all are willing to take time out of your lives to try to understand the qualifications and philosophies of the people that are running for office. It's one of the most important decisions that we make in this society, and I don't think enough people spend enough time on it. So I'm really grateful that you care enough to come out and do this. My name is Tom Lee. I've represented this area off and on over the last 20 years. In the Florida Senate. I grew up in the Brandon area. I lived there almost 50 years. Was raised by a Chief Master Sergeant in the United States Air Force and passed away a couple of years ago. And spent my life in the construction business, home building business in Brandon. In 1996, Senator Beard, former Sheriff Beard, was retiring from the Senate, and I was asked to consider running. I thought it was a really bad idea. I didn't much care for politics or politicians, but I was convinced that if I really loved my community and wanted to make a difference in it, that one of the best ways I could do that maybe was from a seat in the Florida Senate. And I ran, and it never seemed like I was winning. I always hear the Star Spangled Banner playing in the background every time my opponent spoke, but at the end of the day, we won. We were very successful, and so I spent 10 years in the Senate. I've had the privilege of being president of the Florida Senate. I was encouraged to come back in 2012 after 6 years in the private sector. I've done so. We've worked really aggressively on expanding choice in the public education system, expanding choice in the healthcare system, trying to improve access to low-income working Floridians. We've got more work to do there for sure, and trying to reform the service delivery models in the state of Florida to be more efficient and empower families to help raise their children, have a better life in the neighborhood. And that's really what the role of government is enhance the quality of life of the people that we represent. It's been a privilege to represent you. I look forward to your support here in August and hopefully in November. Thank you very much.
Next is Joy Gibson. Good evening, everyone. Also, thank you for coming out. My name is Joy Gibson. I'm a candidate for State Senate District 20. And just to tell you a little bit about myself, I am a mom of 3. And I'm also a business owner, and I have dedicated the last 15 years of my life expanding organizational capacity in nonprofits and organizations that help people in marginalized communities move up in society. And now I'm putting in my bid for the state senate because I want to see the security return to families, the security that we deserve. 20 years ago, when I was a young person, I grew up in a family of 9 siblings. And I grew up in a family where my father was able to work one job and to support our entire family on that job. And I was able to go to college college, get a good job, and start my own business successfully. This is no longer the path to prosperity that I see in this state or in our district. So I want to be that voice that magnifies the prosperity that we deserve. I want to be the person that ends all the bickering and fighting and pointing of fingers among parties and actually get real work done for our families, because we need to really prioritize our families over politics. That security looks like, for me, a secure job that supports a family on one income. It's a secure health care that gives health care to every person as a right, regardless of your income. That also looks like a secure school that is not full of people with guns and resource officers, but it has mental health resources. It has pay that teachers deserve, and it also has resources in the classrooms that students need that are critical. These are just a few of the things that I want to do. I am ready to be the change that I want to see, but you also are the change. Please help me secure our families. Vote Joy Gibson, August 28th. Thank you.
Small business owner just eight months ago, and was a frustrated small business owner with duplicated processes and over-regulation, and went up to Tallahassee this year and got to work on that. And so my pledge to you is to continue the Rick Scott pro-business, small business climate we have here in Florida, and I look forward to serving you all for the next 8 years. Thank you so much.
Next up, Mr. Phil Hornback.
Good evening, and thank everybody for coming out tonight. My name is Phil Hornback, and just to give you a brief history of myself, I'm the second oldest in my family of 5 boys, and I grew up in the Midwest. I'm a former bricklayer, I'm a former football coach, I'm a former middle school science teacher, and now I'm a small business owner myself. I decided to run for the District 58 seat because I want to do something about education. It tore my heart out to watch teachers picketing downtown for a raise that they were promised 3 years ago. And they were promised that raise, and then they were down there begging for it. And I was disheartened by that. I'm disheartened that the first day of school, that over 40 schools here in Hillsborough County did not have air conditioning. I'm disheartened to find out that our drinking water has lead in it, and some of our students are drinking that water. And I'm also disheartened to find out that some of our schools have not been tested for radon in decades. We are one of the lowest paying, or lowest per child what we spend. We're 44th in the nation what we spend per student in the country. And if you consider in cost of living, we're dead last in what we pay teachers. Now, I'm a firm believer as a small business owner, and I own my own masonry company, that you get what you pay for. And I think it's one of the reasons our schools are struggling, and we need to do something about that. I plan on going to Tallahassee, and I plan on fighting for education. I plan on fighting for our students. I plan on fighting for our teachers, and I plan on fighting for our schools, and
Good evening, everyone. What a pleasure it is to be here tonight. Privileged to serve as your sheriff, and certainly an honor representing the 3,500 hardworking men and women of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. There is nothing more important to us than keeping our community safe and protecting our families, especially those who are our most vulnerable portion of the population, our young people and our seniors. We serve the second most populous county in the state of Florida. Yet in terms of crime, we rank 10th among the 10th largest city. Something that all of us are extremely proud of. But with the exponential growth that's occurring here in Hillsborough County, how do we keep it that way? We keep it that way by making sure our deputies get the most progressive and the best training that they can continue to provide the best service possible to our community. We give them the tools, the resources, and the technology to keep themselves safe and keep our community safe. We remain tough on crime, tough on those individuals who want to target our community. We make sure that we work hard to make sure they don't get to victimize one more person. We're smart with your budget. This is your hard-earned taxpayer money, and we're extremely conservative with it. And we do it through community outreach. We do it by strengthening our relationships with the community, one relationship at a time. We also do it by focusing and targeting our juveniles, by making sure we're working with Boys and Girls Clubs and a bunch of youth diversion programs to keep our juveniles out of the criminal justice system, because we know that a smarter and stronger child means a stronger and safer community. So thank you for your support. We'll keep working hard for you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. 2 minutes isn't really enough time for me to sell myself to you, but I'm going to give it a shot. My name is Pruitt, and I want to be your next elected sheriff. I retired from the Tampa Police Department after 25 years of service in 2015. A month and a half later, I went to work as the security director at the Citrus Park Mall. If elected as sheriff, I have 4 main priorities. Number 1 is diversity within the sheriff's office. I believe wholeheartedly in it, and diversity isn't there now. You can Google the sheriff's office and diversity isn't there. It will be, should I be elected. Number 2 is the Citizens Advisory Committee. It's your office, and you should have some say on how that office works. Number 3 is unionization of the deputies. It has to occur. The deputies should work based on right, wrong, policy, and procedure, not politics. And politics is what's ruling at this moment. Number 4 is transparency. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department, our office, has been handing down the office of sheriff since 1964. That process is what actually has allowed my opponent to campaign in uniform. Last sheriff gave it up, and he has a chance to campaign in uniform. Next to his name on the ballot will be incumbent. You've never voted him in, but he is the incumbent, so you'll see that word on there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all by design, to fool the voter. To fool the voter. And in November, like Gary Crook for Hillsborough County Sheriff.
Seats for all the candidates. Isn't this a great thing in Plant City? Let's just give all these candidates a round of applause. Next, we have candidates for Hillsborough County Commission. We have brought all of the candidates for the 3 open commission seats onto the stage at the same time. The Hillsborough County Charter creates 7 commission positions. The county is divided into 4 commission districts, plus 3 commissioners who serve countywide. Our first commission race is District 4. The district map on the screen above shows the boundaries of District 4, which extends east to Polk County, north to State Road 574, west to 75, and south to Manatee County. There is an incumbent in this race. This will not appear on your primary ballot, but will be on your general election ballot in November. Our first two candidates to speak will be from District 4, and they are in this order: Andrew Davis and Stacy White.
Good evening, everybody. How you all doing today? I apologize first off, my voice actually is over being sick this weekend. I'm going to go down, I promise. So, as she said, I'm running in District 4 for County Commission. The biggest thing that I'm really working on, I'm sure a lot of us here are tired of the non-stop traffic, the non-stop growth going on within our area. The first thing I want to do is I want to go after the developers to make them pay the impact fees they should have paid years ago, so we have the funds to grow our infrastructure as our population grows. Now, saying that, I promise to take no money whatsoever from any developers in this race. I cannot say the same of all the people that you see on the stage tonight. I have gone ahead and previously said I challenged all county commission candidates to go ahead and donate any money they got from developers to local charities to prove they're here actually for the people. And I've yet to hear any response. Maybe we can get that tonight, that'd be nice. The second thing I would like to do is I'd like to go ahead and celebrate the diversity of our county. That's a major issue I feel right now in the county commission right now. A few years ago, there was a lawsuit down in Hollywood, Florida, because they wanted to change the name of a street that was named after the first Grand Wizard of the KKK. Yes, I said they wanted to change the name of a street that was named after the first Grand Wizard of the KKK. And a group sued them to stop them. The spokesperson for that group now sits on our county's diversity advisory board. Two of the people here, including my opponent, voted this man on that board. You tell me how that makes any sense whatsoever. We need to start celebrating diversity in this area here. We need to go ahead and after the developers. We have the resources we need in this county. So again, my name is Andrew Davis. My website is www.votefordavis.com. I'll be here afterwards too. If anyone has any questions, feel free to come on up. I'm glad to talk to everyone here tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for having me here this evening. It's always a pleasure to spend some time in beautiful Plant City. I've made a lot of great memories in this very facility with my friends from this great city. I'm Stacy White. I've been your county commissioner since 2014. I currently serve as the county commission's board chaplain. You have so many great things going on in Plant City because of the home rule authority you enjoy under the leadership of your outstanding city commission. And when it comes to Plant City, my first goal is always to stay out of the way and let this city do great things. But when I'm called upon to partner with your city officials and community leaders, I'm always happy to lend my support. And we've accomplished some great things together, like the Sam Allen Road widening project, some critically important road resurfacing projects, and improving solid waste pickup here in the city. And on the county level, I have a solid conservative track record. I was part of a coalition on the county commission that tightened our belts and passed a policy that appropriated over $800 million over a 10-year period for transportation projects. And we did that without raising their taxes. I've stood strong for traditional family values, for our nation's heritage, and for our Second Amendment rights. In fact, when I was chairman of the county commission, I stopped a proposal for sanctuary county status for Hillsborough County dead in its tracks. I'd be honored and humbled to serve another term as your county commissioner. I consider it a vote of confidence that I'm not being primary this August, but I will be on your general election ballot. I'm Stacy White, and I ask for your vote for November 6th general election. Thank you.
Hillsborough County District 5 is one of the 3 countywide seats, which are voted on by the entire county. There is no incumbent in this seat. There will be a primary for both parties, and the winners will be on the ballot in the general election. The candidates for District 5 will speak in this order. We have Victor Crist, Angel Urbana Capo, Mary Alice Smith, and Joe Cottis.
Hello, I'm Victor Crist, not to get you crisscross with Charlie. I've represented Northern Hillsborough County and the County Commission now for 2 terms, a total of 8 years, where I have fought to build schools, I have fought to build community centers, I've fought to improve parks, I've fought to help improve flooding, I've helped put in sidewalks, I've helped put in streetlights, I've helped patch holes in streets, and I've worked with my colleagues to turn the county's employment numbers around. When I first took office 8 years ago, we were in the hole. We were in the dumpers. We were the fastest declining economic problem in the state. We had the highest levels of unemployment in the state. Now, 8 years later, thanks to my colleagues like Stacey White, myself, and the others, we put good policies in place to attract quality employers here and have opened the door to some high-paying jobs that have now made us the fastest growing economy in the state and the lowest numbers of unemployment in the state. I'm a strong supporter of public safety. I am a compassionate conservative. What I mean by that is I have spent most all of my adult life working in the inner city with underprivileged children and at-risk families. My mother was a medical missionary. That's how I grew up. My father was a commanding military officer that was here to set up Strike Command at McDill. And I grew up with truth and honor, justice, faith, and sharing. I'm Victor Crist, and I'm about performance, not promises.
Good evening, Penn City. My name is Angel Urbana, and I'm here to serve you. I started my career serving the people of the United States in the Puerto Rico Army National Guard, where I went from field artillery all the way to cybersecurity. Currently, I'm serving you as the commander of Flotilla 79 in Tampa, in Camden Boulevard. And I've been serving